Okay, fourth grade. Welcome to lesson 7. We're going to focus on showing different ways today that we can represent values using decimals, fractions, and place value charts. So I'm going to get started in the problem set right away today. I'm on page 51. Everybody open up to page 51 in your blue Learn books now, please. And we will start with problem number 1. We're going to show this in 3 different ways. We have to write a decimal number sentence to identify the total value of the place value discs. So it's written in word form and place value disc form. We have 2 tens, 5 tenths, and 3 hundredths. So we're going to write that as 2 tens, which we know is worth 20, right? With no decimal after it. 5 tenths, that means it's going to be 0.5, 5 in the tenths place. We're going to look more closely at place value in a place value chart when we get a little bit lower. 3 hundredths, that's 0.03. And we can write that when we add them all together as 20 and 53 100ths, 53 hundredths, because 5 tenths is the same as 50 hundredths. So when we add that to 3 hundredths, we get 53 hundredths. I'm going to keep right on going with our problem set. Let's look at number 2. 5 hundredths plus 4 hundredths. 5 hundredths is going to look just like 500, right? That's 5 times 100. And 4 hundredths, that's 0.04. When we add them together, we need to think, okay, we have 0 in our tens place, 0 in our ones place, 0 in our tenths place. So when we add them together, it's going to look like 504 hundredths. 500.04 is how you would say that quickly. This will look familiar to you. This is a place value chart. We've been using these for a long time. The only difference now is that the chart includes tenths and hundredths. So let's use the chart to answer the following questions. We want to show the value of each digit in unit form. Okay, the digit blank is in the hundreds place. Find the hundreds place. It's easy. It's labeled very clearly. The digit 4 is in the hundreds place. It has a value of not actually 4, but because it's in the hundreds place, that 4 represents and is worth 400. The digit blank is in the tens place. Go to the tens place. The digit is 1. It has a value of 10. Because a 1 in the tens place is really saying 1 times 10. So it is worth 10. The digit blank is in the tenths place. 8 is in the tenths place. It has a value of 8 tenths, right? Another way you could write that is 8 tenths. But I would say let's use decimals now, since this lesson is focused on decimal representation. The digit blank is in the hundredths place. The digit 3 is in the hundredths place. It has a value of 3 hundredths, or if you were to write it as a fraction, 3 over 100. Take a second to make sure your paper looks like mine, okay? And make sure that you follow along carefully, because this is exactly what we're going to be doing on our exit ticket when we get to number 1. Let's practice that again. We're going to complete the problem set together here. Letter E, the digit blank is in the hundreds place. 5 is in the hundreds place. A 5 in the hundreds place has a value of 500. In the tens place, we have 3. A 3 in the tens place is worth 30. Tenths, the digit 1 is in the tens place. It has a value of 1/10. The digit blank is in the hundredths place. It has a value of 6 hundredths. Take a minute and catch up to me, please. Make sure your paper looks like mine before we move on to the page 52 of our problem set. Remember, we're focused on showing these values as decimals in the place value chart. We're also going to show them now in expanded form on page 53. Write each decimal as an equivalent fraction. Then write each number in expanded form using both decimal and fraction notation. The first one has been done for you. If we get stuck, we'll come back and compare our work to this first row. The first number we're working with is 21.4. And if we want to write that as a fraction, we're going to write 21 and 4/10. Now, how can we show that in expanded form using fractions and decimals? Remember, in expanded form, we want to pull out each place value separately and add them together with a number sentence. So let's start in the tens place. We have a 2 in the tens place. So we're going to start with 2 times 10. Make sure to put that in parentheses, nice and neat. Plus, how much in the ones place? We have 1 in our ones place. So we're going to do 1 times 1. There's a 4 in the tenths place. So let's add 4 times 1/10. And we don't have any value in our hundredths place. So 2 times 10 is 20. Plus 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 4 times 1/10 is 4/10. 20 plus 1 plus 4/10 equals 21 and 4/10. Decimal notation is very similar, right? The whole numbers stay the same. 2 times 10 plus 1 times 1 plus, instead of writing 4 times 1/10 with a fraction, we're going to write 4 times 1/10 as a decimal. And then it becomes 20 plus 1 plus 4/10 written as a decimal, 0.4. Next, we have 38.09. 38 and 9 hundredths. If we have 38 and 9 hundredths, we can show that as a fraction right here. 38 and 9 hundredths, just like that. Now let's separate out tens, ones, and tenths. There's a 3 in our tens place, so we're going to write 3 times 10. There's an 8 in our ones place, so we're going to write 8 times 1. There is nothing in our tenths place, so we're not writing anything to do with tenths in this problem. We'll skip ahead, or skip then to our hundredths. There's 9 hundredths. So we're going to show in expanded form 9 times 1/100th. When we solve within the parentheses, this number sentence becomes 30 plus 8 plus 9 hundredths. Again, decimal notation will look very similar. 3 times 10, right? The whole numbers stay the same, plus 8 times 1, plus 9 times 1/100th. So it would look like 30 plus 8 plus 9 hundredths. $50 and 2/10. Let's show 50 and 2/10 as a fraction. And now in expanded form. For the tens place, we have 5 times 10 because there's a 5 in the tens place. We have nothing in our ones place, so we can skip that. We don't need to write 0 times 1. We'll go straight to our tenths place and show 2 times 1/10. That gives us 50 plus 2/10. And in decimal form, 5 times 10 plus 2 times 0.1. And that gives us 50 plus 2/10, 50.2. We're showing the same values broken out into tenths, hundredths, ones, and tens. Each place value listed separately. Right now, let's try to do these three independently. Be careful because they use hundreds. So you're going to start out in this first one with 3 times 100 plus 1 times 1. Remember, there's nothing in the tens place. Plus 7 times 1/100th. Finish the page independently and use this information, especially the ones we did together, to help you complete your exit ticket on page 53. This is a straightforward lesson, I think. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, I want you to submit it. Submit the exit ticket in Google Classroom. Nice job today. Quick lesson. See you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.